Studio One always surprises me, and today is no different. This plugin inside of Studio One turns your software into an analog console, and it even gives you individual control over the characteristics of it. So if you are a Studio One user, I want to help you out. I have free vocal presets that you can download. Just click the top link in the description and you can download those for free. You just drag and drop them onto a channel inside of Studio One, no third-party plugins required, and it just sounds amazing. So now let's check out this awesome plugin. So I have a session here that sounds like this. And it sounded pretty good, but I could use just a little bit of that analog vibe for this song. So if you look at the top of all these channels here in the mixer window, there is a thing called inserts. Now on buses, and this also includes the main output or the 2-bus, there is a thing up here called mix effects. And if you click on this, there is an option here and you can click console shaper. Now, if you are a Presonus Sphere member, you actually get one more option. If you are a Sphere member, let me know in the comments below and tell me if it's worth it. So when we load mix effects up, this plugin shows up, and if you noticed, all of these channels had a little yellow LED indicator light up at the bottom. Not the buses, but the individual channels. That's because this isn't being placed on the insert of the master bus. This is actually being placed on every single individual channel, and it's affecting everything all at once. So the three main characteristics of an analog board was the saturation of the drive, the noise, and the crosstalk between the channels. So let's just take a look at every single one of these individually. So we'll turn on the drive, and as we turn the drive up, we are actually not turning the volume up. It's just actually saturating it and kind of clipping some things off, like some transients and stuff. So let's take a listen. You can kind of hear that it's starting to push the mid-range down a little bit and round out that low end. It is taking some of those transients out, like in that snare and that kick. So now we have the noise section. And to be completely honest with you, I'm not a fan of noise. I like my mixes clean in general. But if this is something you're into, this is super handy. And you can actually hear it just by turning this on. I'm personally not a fan of the noise, but it is a neat feature. Now the crosstalk is really cool because what it does is it kind of crosstalks in between the channels like an old analog board would. You'd have to choose the individual channels you wanted to plug into your board so that way you didn't have crosstalk back in the old days. Now that we have super clean channels and everything is individual inside of a DAW, you never have that issue. But if you wanted to emulate that, you can do that here. But I will say, just a word of caution, be careful with this because if you go too far, things will start to sound funky. And let me show you. That is such a neat feature. Now, I think it sounds really good right around 25%. Now let's see if we can blend some of these together and get a nice sound out of it. There are a lot of things I love about Studio One, but there is one feature inside of Studio One that I just can't live without. It is my absolute favorite feature, and if you want to know what I'm talking about, click this video right here. In that video, I tell you what my favorite feature inside of Studio One is and why I can't live without it and how you can use it on your next song. So now, as always, go create.